You know, there is nothing wrong with being a girl. There is nothing lacking. We were not an afterthought. Our femininity is not a weakness, but it's a strength. It's really an honor for me to be with you here. And I thank my sister Chinelo for inviting me. I know my time with you was short, but I really do appreciate being here. And I believe a lot we can learn from sharing each other's stories and our experiences. And while I may be here in Paris, France, and you're over there in Nigeria, there's things that we've experienced that we all can relate to. There's parts of my story and your story that we may not be able to relate to. But as girls, as women, again, as children of God, we are powerful, we are unique. As Madame Okrukri said, there is no to you, okay? There is no one, literally no one in the world with your same DNA. And that's powerful when you think about it. There's no replica, no duplicate, no other one of you. And so as we think about combating stereotypes and all these things that we've had to deal with in our lives, it's important that you remember the things that are being said to you today. These women that are pouring into you and that do pour into you on a daily basis, because they love you, they believe in you, and they see you beyond your skin, beyond your physical appearance, beyond the limitations and beyond the stereotypes that you may be dealing with. And so the woman you see today, I have not always been this confident. I have not always been able to articulate myself like this. I remember actually, you know, around your age, and that poem was so powerful that you ladies shared, just struggling a lot, like I mentioned before, with identity. You know, in the poem, it talked about being pretty girls. There's so many stereotypes. If you're pretty, you're not smart. If you're light skinned, you think you're better than everyone. If you're mixed, you have no sense of identity and culture. And so just dealing with those things, they hurt. I had to heal from that and learn from that. But it also has made me the person I am today, who can withstand adversity, who is resilient. And a lot of you ladies here, you are still standing, you are still where you are, and you're still kicking and breathing and fighting and going forward with your dreams and what you believe in, because you're resilient, because you have a purpose, because you are a girl. And there is nothing wrong, okay, with being a girl, with being a woman. And like I said before, you are never an afterthought, but you are always a part of God's original plan from the very beginning. Chinelo did let me in a secret that you ladies were a little bit excited to hear that about the pageantry. And so I actually started doing pageants when I was young, when I was 5 years old. And I won my first pageant at the age 8. I was 8 years old, and I remember at that time I met Miss Black, Minnesota. That's where I was living, 1993. And she was there, and she looked at me and she said, "You know what? I'm so proud of you, and you can do anything you want to do." And I held on to those words. This is when I was 8 years old, okay? Fast forward, I told my mom, I'm gonna be like her one day. And so I continued to compete in pageants, and I had a really good experience with pageants, but they weren't always the best experience. I remember one pageant I competed in, and I won't name the name of the pageant. I was around your age. I was 16, 17 years old, for those of you that are a little bit older. And this pageant was predominantly white, Eurocentric pageant. And I was a little bit more curvier, okay? I had my Liberian girl swag going on, okay? And I remember that one of the ladies told me, if you want to even win this pageant, do not turn around. You're going to need to lose weight. And in a sense, change my appearance. And that hurt, because here I was, I didn't see, you know, like I said, I struggled with identity and things like that, but what's wrong with my body? What's wrong with me? I didn't fit into necessarily that typical stereotype of what a pageant girl, a pageant queen, a beauty queen in the US should look like. And so I remember I took that and I wanted to quit. I wanted to say, you know what, I'm not gonna do this pageant. It's not worth it. They want me to change this and that, I'm just gonna give up. But my mom said, no, you've wanted to do this. And so I made a decision. I said, you know what, I'm gonna do my best. I'm going to embrace who I am. I'm going to work hard to practice, and I'm going to compete. I'm not going to allow that to stop me from doing something that I love and I've dreamed of doing. And so I did the pageant. I didn't win that pageant, but I did it anyway. And that taught me a big lesson, because a lot of times in life, you're going to face, again, different adversities, different obstacles. This is a pageant. Maybe you can relate to that, maybe you can't. But just the idea of not allowing someone else opinion, judgments, stereotypes, and boxes that they may want to place you in to stop you from going after those dreams and those goals that you have. And so I lost that pageant, needless to say. But 2 years after that, I ended up being crowned Miss Black Minnesota. Now, what did I tell you before, right? When I was 8 years old, I met Miss Black Minnesota, right? And I said I was gonna be like her one day. Fast forward, I lost some pageants. I won some, had some horrible experiences, some good. But if I would have stopped at that very one and said, you know what, I'm not gonna keep going. I'm gonna just allow whatever they said about me to be it. I would have never seen that dream realized. And so when I was 19 years old, I competed for Miss Black USA, and I went to Washington, D.C. I competed against 50 other incredible Black women who represented their state, and I ended up taking home the crown of Miss Black USA 2005 and 2006. And so I share that with you because it started off as a dream when I was 8, but I didn't realize until 11 years later. And in between that dream and going after that goal and breaking some of those stereotypes, there was adversities. There were moments when I wanted to give up. There were times when I doubted myself, when I was insecure, when I was frustrated, but I continued to press forward toward that thing and ended up surpassing that original dream. And it was through Miss Black USA that I was able to travel to West Africa for the first time. And I was able to do some volunteer work and be a Goodwill ambassador for the Gambia, and travel there and create some projects and see the world and experience the things that I've experienced and meet incredible women like you. And it all started from that one dream. It all started from me making a decision that I wasn't going to allow any stereotypes, any of the obstacles, any of the resistances, and the things that were designed to break me to stop me. But I couldn't do it alone. And this is what you have to realize, is that you're on this journey. And as I mentioned to you, you're going to face obstacles. Some you may be able to relate to, and some you may not. But continue to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Speak over yourself. Remind yourself who you are. And then continue to go to Chinelo, to Madam Agbula, to Madam Okrikri, to those adults in your life who love you, who believe in you, and allow them to pour into you. When you don't have the energy to fight, go to them and allow them to pour into you, okay? And so that is all. I know our time is short today. It was such a pleasure to be here with you, to pour into you. I would have loved the opportunity, and maybe one day we'll be able to meet in person and interact. But I want to leave you with this one last thing as I close, and it's a quote from Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and it says, "I have chosen to no longer be apologetic for my femaleness and my femininity. And I want to be respected in all of my femaleness because I deserve to be." You do not have to apologize for being a girl. There was nothing wrong with you. You are not an afterthought. You are fearfully, wonderfully made, powerful. You are a Black woman, a Nigerian woman, an African woman, a woman of God, and continue to walk in that and believe that. I love you, ladies, and thank you again so much for having me here. And I wish you nothing but the best.